This is Samvita from Department of Civil Engineering. Today, my topic is to demonstrate the history and the discovery of Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy, a journey through history and discovery. From ancient myths to modern space missions, humanity's quest to understand our cosmic home has spanned millennia. So join us on an extraordinary journey through the history and the discovery of Milky Way. So the history of Milky Way galaxy spans nearly the entire age of the universe, beginning around 13 to 14 billion years ago with the coalescence of gas and dust and evolving through a series of mergers and star formation phases. So the Milky Way's history is characterized by rapid growth in its early years, primarily through the merging of similar galaxies. So the initial assembly is about 13 billion years ago. So the first stars that would become part of the Milky Way formed just 800 million years after the Big Bang. Small gas-rich progenitor galaxies began to merge under gravity's influence. So this early period led to the formation of the stellar halo, which is a vast spherical structure of odd stars surrounding the disk, which is a thick one. So the gala, it is about 10 to 11 billion years ago. A significant event was the violent collision and merger with a dwarf galaxy, often called as Gallia Anceres or Sausage Galaxy. So this event is thought to have damaged and puffed up the early disk, contributing to the formation of the thick disk and enriching the stellar halo with its stars. So this merger triggered a massive burst of star formation. So the thick disk star formation is it's measuring about 6,000 light years thick actively formed stars from about 13 to 8 billion years ago before exhausting much of its initial gas supply. So the thin disk and run structure. After the violent early phase subsided, the galaxy settled into the spiral structure we see today. So thin disk formation starting about 8 billion years ago. So as the star formation rate in the thick disk declined, fresh hydrogen gas from intergalactic space slowly settled into a much thinner, more compact disk. So the thin disk is about 2000 light years thick. This is the structure where most of the Milky Way galaxy stars current star formation takes place. So solar system birth is about 4.6 billion years ago. So our sun and the solar system formed within this relatively new thin disk. Spiral arms. Over time, the differential rotation and density waves within the thin disk created the characteristic spiral arms. So the recent and future mergers are the Milky Way continues to grow by consuming smaller galaxies and it has a dramatic future ahead. So ongoing mergers are the Milky Way is currently cannibalizing several dwarf galaxies such as the Sagittarius dwarf spheroidal galaxy and others are like Cetus and Pontus, so which leave trails of stars called stellar streams in the halo. So recent studies suggest a major merger, the Vicro-radial merger (VRM), may have occurred as recently 2.7 billion years ago. The Andromeda collision, the Milky Way is on a collision course with its nearest major galactic neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy M31. So the two galaxies will eventually merge to form a new massive elliptical galaxy, sometimes nicknamed Nicomedia or Milkdromeda. So, moving on, ancient ice on the Silver River. So, early human wonder is that for thousands of years, Paleolithic humans gazed upward at a mysterious glowing band stretching across the night sky, sparkling wonder and mythology. So, the first scientific theories were the Greek philosopher Democritus of 5th century BCE boldly proposed it was made of countless distant stars, a revolutionary insight for his time. So, however, Aristotle's influential cosmology of 4th century BCE incorrectly interpreted it as an atmospheric phenomenon, a view that would persist for centuries. So, basically, ancient ice on the Silver River itself is It refers to various ancient cultures perceived in Milky Way galaxy, often seeing it as not as collection of countless stars, but as a celestial river, road, or a pathway. So the river of heaven, East Asia, it is generally called as a silver river, which is related to the Milky Way galaxy. So according to the Native American traditions, the Milky Way is represented in the path taken by the soul. The consistent perception of the Milky Way as a river or a road across vastly separated cultures reflects the powerful inspiring and direction presence. So this feature had in a world without light pollution. So actually this ancient ice in the Silver River is derived from a Chinese myth of the cowherd and the weaver girl. So moving on, Galileo's telescope, stars revealed. In 1609, Galileo constructs his revolutionary telescope, and then in 1610, he publishes Sidereus Nuncius, which is revealing the Milky Way's true nature. And then the impact is that it shatters Australian cosmology forever. So Galileo's observations provided the first scientific proof that the Milky Way was not a cloudy mist, but a massive cluster composed of individual stars, each a sun in its own light. So theories of shape and scale. So in the 18th century, many theories about the Milky Way and the galaxy have evolved. So in that, a few of them are of Thomas Wright. The theory is proposed on 1750. So he proposed that the Milky Way as a flat layers of stars with our solar system embedded within it. So the first accurate structural model. And then in 1755, Immanuel Kant he expanded Wright's theory with the radical island universe hypothesis, suggesting faint nebulae were actually distant galaxies beyond our own. And then paradigm shift. So these visionary ideas hinted at a universe far more vast and complex than anyone had previously imagined, laying groundwork for modern cosmology. So these are the few theories of shape and scale which are actually came out in the 18th century. And then moving on to the next, we are mapping the galaxy. William Herschel star surveys. So there's this scientist called William Herschel. He did surveys on the stars. So revolutionary mapping is around 1780s. So William Herschel embarked on an ambitious project to map the Milky Way by meticulously counting stars in different directions across the sky. So discovery of asymmetry. The first one is discovery of asymmetry, and the second one is solar position theory, and the third one is southern extension. So coming to discovery of asymmetry, he found that significantly more stars towards one direction, the galactic core. And coming to solar position theory, he mistakenly placed the sun near the Milky Way center. The third one is that southern extension. His son John extended surveys to the southern hemisphere, confirming galactic patterns. So here you can see some celestial object, galaxy. This is a reference picture. So this is about all 1780s Williams Herschel embarked on star survey, discovery of asymmetry, solar position theory, and southern extension. So moving on, the great debate and Hubble's breakthrough. The question is raised around the early 1900s, where spiral nebulae, part of the Milky Way, are separate island universes. Is the question. So the great debate is around 1920. Harlow Shapley and Heber Cuties presented opposing views on the Milky Way size and the nature of spiral nebulae. And Hubble's revolution is on 1923. So Edwin Hubble identified Cepheid variable stars in Andromeda, providing it was a separate galaxy millions of light years away. So there are many galaxies around the whole nature. We are living in a Milky Way galaxy. And imagine how many galaxies would be there and how many planets would be there and how many suns would be there. These are just uncountable. And this is how the universe expanded. The discovery transformed our cosmic perspective from a single galaxy to a universe containing billions of galaxies. So this is about the Great Debate and Hubble's breakthrough. Moving on, modern understanding the Milky Way today. And as per now, technology has improved a lot, and then satellites, rockets, and more we've came near for the studying of stars now, and we're coming more to know about it. And up until now, the information we have is that 87,000 light years across is the diameter of our bird spiral galaxy, just Milky Way. And 100 billion plus stars are estimated stellar population, which ranges from 100 to 400 million. And there are 27,000 light years from the center. Our solar system's position in the Orion arm is of 27,000 light years away. And there are 4 million solar masses. So Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole at our galaxy's heart. New frontiers, so Via and the dynamic Milky Way. So in 2018 to present, revolutionary space mapping is presented here. So unprecedented precision. So ESA's Gaia spacecraft has mapped the positions and motions of over 1 billion stars with extraordinary accuracy, creating the most detailed 3D map of the Milky Way ever produced. It is the latest map that we have and following till now. And the second one is ancient collision revealed. So discovered ancient stars in unexpected locations, providing evidence of past galactic collisions and mergers that shaped our galaxy's current structure. So due to the collisions that happened in the past, before some billion years ago, it may be the Big Bang or maybe the formation of things. So the Big Bang theory, which discovered the stars in unexpected locations, so it is providing that there is an evidence for the past galactic collisions and mergers that shaped our galaxy's current structure. So living galaxy demonstrated the Milky Way is a dynamic, evolving system constantly in motion, not static island of stars once imaged. So the Milky Way in human culture and mind. So Milky Way is represented differently in human mind culture when compared to science. So it is Babylonian legend. The Milky Way formed from the severed tail of Tiamat, the primordial dragon goddess of chaos, scattered across the heavens after her defeat. And according to Greek mythology, galaxies means milky in Greek, named after the legend of Hera's divine milk spilling across the sky, creating the luminous band we see today. And indigenous traditions. So cultures worldwide saw the Milky Way as campfires of ancestors, celestial rivers, guiding spirits, or great animals traversing the sky, each reflecting universal human awe. And the endless journey of discovery is ancient wonder, naked eye observations and mythological implementations, and telescope revolution, Galileo to Hubble revealing stars and galaxies. Space age mapping is of GIA and modern missions creating precise 3D maps. And the fourth one is future frontiers. New technologies promise even greater revolutions. So the Milky Way is both our cosmic home and a gateway to understanding the vast universe beyond. So as technology advances, new discoveries await, continuing humanity's eternal quest to understand our place in the cosmos. Thank you.